Sabah everybody, welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to talk about the brand new Honor Pad 8. This is the latest tablet from Honor that features a 12-inch 2K display, 8 speakers, and so much more for some of the best content consumption options that you have on the market to date. This is TK. Let's go ahead and talk about all of the cool new features on the Pad 8 from Honor. Like and subscribe and make sure you hit that bell icon so that you're always notified to whenever we have new videos on the channel. Now let's go ahead and start looking at the specifications. We have a 5 megapixel camera on the back, no wireless charging, as I mentioned, 7,250 milliampere on the battery. And as far as the top, we have a volume rocker, a power button, and of course one of the microphones. Looking at the side here, we have two opening grills with 2 speakers each, and of course the USB-C for charging. On the bottom, we have pretty much a clean slate, and then of course 2 additional open grills for the opposite side, and that gives us the ability of having up to 8 speakers on this tablet. Now, looking on the front, although we are looking at, let's go ahead and unlock it, it does not have a fingerprint sensor. It does have a front-facing camera, which is a similar 5 megapixel camera to the one on the back, and enables us to actually use face unlock. So essentially, from a security standpoint, we have either PIN, passcode, or a front-facing camera with face unlock to be able to get the unlocking options on this tablet. The display, as we talked about at the beginning, even though it's a Pad 8, it's technically a 12-inch tablet, and that gives us the ability of having basically a higher resolution at the 2K resolution that we have. So it's a 2000 by 1200 HD pixels, about 195 pixel PPI, a brightness level of up to 350 nits, so you're able to get pretty bright overall. And of course, this should be able to work very, very nicely. It's not going to be the most brightest tablet on the market, but it definitely gives us the ability of having a very clear picture and the ability of enjoying it indoors or outdoors. Now, what I will also say, let's go ahead and go back home. Obviously, we see gesture support in here. It is powered by the Snapdragon 680. That's going to be the processor in here. And there's going to be 2 different configurations, 4 gigabytes with 128 gigs of storage and a 6 gigabytes with 128. So depending on the model that you get, you'll definitely want to be able to customize it there. Cameras, as I said, 5 in the front, 5 in the back with a 7,250 milliampere battery. Now, as far as the configuration of what we get in here, if we go down into the About. So model number is HEYW09. This is running, the build is 6.1.0, so this is Magic UI 6.1. It's on top of Android 12, so it's nice to see that it's running there. We do have 6 gigs of RAM with 2 additional gigs of RAM that gives us the ability of having almost like 8 gigs of RAM with Honor RAM Turbo. And this is using pretty much a page filing system, meaning it's using 2 gigs of RAM of the internal storage. The model that I have has 128 gigs of internal storage. As I mentioned, from the RAM configuration, there's either a 6 or a 4. And of course, as I said, the resolution 2000 by 1200, August 1st security patch update, which is definitely very nice. Now, since this is running Magic UI 6.1, again, Android 12, we have normal configuration, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth. The mobile network actually indicates us the ability of actually sharing the Wi-Fi connection. There is no mobile network connection here. So for the most part, what we're doing here is we're running the Wi-Fi that we have connected to this tablet as a mobile hotspot. So that enables me to share this with other devices that I have. In case I only have one access to a certain Wi-Fi, this allows me to share that. Mobile connection, home screen, wallpaper, of course, display brightness, sound, notification, biometric. There is no fingerprint. It's pretty much basically PIN or screen lock or face recognition, as I mentioned to you guys at the beginning. Apps, battery, storage, safety and information, security, privacy, location, and of course, customizing the assistant, of course, accessibility features, focus, Google services, and system updates. And I did receive a couple of system updates since I've received this tablet. As far as navigation, we do have the gesture support. We have a Google Feed on the left. We don't have an app drawer in this configuration, but you have obviously the different applications that we have installed. I downloaded Netflix, Google Meet is in there, Google Play Services, of course, the Google Play Store is in there. I downloaded and I was running, we'll go ahead and run Geekbench in a second, but of course, access to the Google Play Store runs beautiful. The benefit of this tablet overall is the large form factor that we get in here, the small bezels on the side that enables us to actually hold it and have a very nice large display that enables us to consume content at a very, very nice and very bright display. So we're going to go ahead and launch Netflix. I'm going to actually shut down the audio on my side so that we don't have any kind of interference in there. But overall, you could definitely appreciate how large the display is and of course the colors and the representation that we get in here. Again, as I mentioned to you guys, we do have 8 speakers on here and we are going to play some audio on this, but this is some Demon Slayer running straight off of Netflix, and that's some of the best options that we're able to enjoy here. Now, overall, not a lot of applications are pre-installed. You have a lot of the storage still left for you. Let's go ahead and jump in real quick into YouTube. Now, as you can imagine, obviously we want to be able to test out the speakers on here. So I'm going to go ahead and put the speakers at 100%. This is the speakers volume setup on this side. And of course, what we're going to go ahead and do is play our song, our favorite song, Jumbo by NCS Release. sound absolutely fantastic. I will say this much though, multitasking on this is also going to be one of the most fun experiences ever. So here, you notice at the top when we were watching the video and watching the content and listening to it, there was a little bit of a tab at the top. So if I click that tab, it gives me the ability of running it in either moving it to the left. So basically runs split screen to the left, opens up my app drawer, gives me the ability of launching another app. Let's say I want to go ahead and launch Chrome. And then in Chrome, you're able to obviously launch your multiple tabs and so on. And of course, you reconfigure this to the level that you want. So let's say I'm going to go ahead and put it back in where it was, but I actually wanted to run this as a pop-up window. Very straightforward. You click that, it jumps into a more of a popped window. And of course, you can move it. So we'll go ahead and grab it in here, move it along. Or of course, you can basically grab it from the bottom, close it up, and it goes home. Recents app, pretty straightforward. You have the ability of accessing all the applications, swipe away if you need to, of course, or close all of them. We do have 6 gigs with 2 gigs of RAM additional here, so it runs very nicely. As far as the cameras, the overall best experience I would probably say is these cameras are going to be primarily set up for let's say video conferencing and maybe mild picture taking. And what I mean by this essentially is I'm going to jump in real quick for you guys and do a sample on the front facing camera and the rear facing camera, video and audio from the brand new Pad 8. We're going to start off with the front facing camera on the Pad 8. This is a 1080p resolution video recording on a 5 megapixel camera. Now it's pretty much the same camera that we get on the back, which is another 5 megapixel camera, but 1080p will be the maximum we're able to record here. Switching it over to the main sensor on the back, again 5 megapixel, 1080p resolution, and of course going to be a really good example if you wanted to record something using the back camera. So a good sample of the audio and video on the main sensor on the back and 5 megapixel camera at 1080p on the brand new Pad 8. Now, as you saw there, again, 1080p resolution is not going to be the best video, but I feel like in a video conferencing application, let's say Google Meet or even a Zoom, this should be pretty good overall. The cameras are okay when there's enough good light. I would probably say that if you need to take a picture, but my recommendation obviously is to focus on what this tablet does best, and that's the content consumption part. What we were looking at overall here, again, is a large 2K 12-inch tablet, even though it's called a Pad 8. But what I would probably say is this. Get this tablet for content consumption, don't get this for content creation, and you're not going to be disappointed. For the price that Honor is asking for realistically in the markets that it's available, this is a large tablet with very good sounding speakers and of course a beautiful display that has a large battery with the not so powerful processor. So the 6 series processor here is partially why we're limited to a certain experience, but marry that with a large battery and of course high refresher, well, not a high refresher, but a high quality display, you're going to be able to consume content on this for a long time and never have to worry about charging it. And if you do, they do include a charger in the box, so that's also still something that's nice to have. The ability of sharing your Wi-Fi is also a plus thing that I think very few devices do on the market. So this is really nice if, let's say, you're at a hotel or it's somewhere where you have to subscribe to a Wi-Fi connection. You're able to share that connection with your mobile device without necessarily having to buy 2 separate subscriptions for the same account. So the overall benefit here is definitely very nice. So I would highly recommend this for anybody looking for a tablet or access to a large format display to consume content on. The combination that we have here from Honor has a very interesting approach to providing us a long experience and usage of a tablet. Not having a fingerprint sensor is a little bit of a downer on this one. I wish we would have had that. The front-facing camera unlock is good, but it's not the most secure. I still think a PIN or a password is going to give you the best experience. But otherwise, seriously, I mean, the tablet itself is pretty solid, very nice, and a very large display. Thank you very much to Honor for allowing me to check out the Pad 8 and of course share with you guys my experience. Let me know in the comments below, what do you guys think of the brand new Pad 8 from Honor? This is TK. I'll see you in the next video.